YouTubers, Motard Yoda here. All you SMR 450, 510 owners, if you need a clutch line or brake line, this video is for you. I'm going to give you a review on the Core Moto clutch line that I just got. If you've seen my previous videos, you've seen that I've been struggling with a leak at the master cylinder. And first I thought I had a problem with the banjo and the crush washers, but as it turns out, I had a bad line that had a subtle little pinhole leak on it. Long story short, that line has been removed, and even though I had a replacement line that I could plug in and use, I thought, hey, this is a good time for me to check out an aftermarket line, something colorful. And CoreMoto makes primarily brake lines, but they do a lot of clutch lines too. They've got a configuration tool that's on their site. I checked that out. I was kind of comfortable with using it, but my bike's a 2008 510. Parts are kind of sketchy when you get into the aftermarket realm. As you know, oftentimes something just doesn't fit properly, and I didn't want to pay to have a line made that wasn't going to work. So what I did is I sent them this backup line I have from a parted out bike, and Matt there was quick to let me know they received it and then walk me through the process of what I needed to get the line proper. Now, a couple of points about this. First, our OEM line comes with this nice adjustable, or I should say threaded mail that fits into the master cylinder, into the Magura, and at the end of it, it's got a 60-degree little flange or edge, and this is important because on the Magura you need the 60-degree. I had upgraded my Magura to the Brembo racing master cylinder, and this was fitting into it fine. What they had is this little guy that's an adapter, and it has the 60-degree inside there in the female threaded part, but this part that connects to the master cylinder is actually a 45-degree, and this is important. As it turns out, Matt at CoreMoto told me that they didn't have the 60-degree end fitting, so what they did have was 45-degree, and they could make those up pretty quick, or I should say he could make a line using the 45-degree and of course the proper banjo that I needed. But if I wanted to wait for a 60-degree, it was going to take several weeks. I opted to have the lines made promptly. I didn't want to wait, and I said, go ahead, put the 45-degree on there. And the reason why is because I noticed that this adapter was on the Brembo, and when I took it off, I was able to see that that edge is in fact a 45. So I knew that his line would fit. And voila, the red line came in, and I absolutely love it. I ordered two of them. One is already on my 510. This is my backup, but this will be installed on my second 510, which is undergoing a big bore engine rebuild right now. So she's offline, but this line will be on her when everything comes back together. A couple of thoughts about this line. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the red. You can get it in many different colors. CoreMoto offers clutch lines and brake lines. I'm going to definitely get some brake lines as well. The banjo fitting right here is beautiful, so smooth. After looking at mine, I can see all kinds of corrosion and just funky stuff going on down there. You know, I've heard guys replacing these after a few years just for the sake of keeping them proper, and I've neglected it. I've just not paid it much attention, but I can tell after installing this, it just seated so nice and everything is perfect. One of the things they offer on all their lines are these mounting grommets which slide. These are a heavy rubber, and I believe you get 2 per line for free. You can get more if you need them. I only chose one, and I regret that. Definitely take the 2. If you don't want one, you can always cut it off. But it was just a silly mistake on my part. I don't know what I was thinking. These do come into play. When you mount up the line, this is a little bit thicker than the OEM. It's actually significantly thicker, a good 25-40% thicker. So there's more chance of this sitting against the side of the motor casing, and obviously that motor gets hot. So what I discovered is that this was touching the tensioner, and my cable got a little bit of a brown spot. I went ahead and moved the grommet down, so now she's protected. But if you've got 2, which I should have, I would be using one for up underneath the tank. Ironically, that's where this one suffered a pinhole. To this point, I don't know what caused it. I looked around. Yeah, there's some edges up there that could have caused it, I guess. I really don't know when it happened either, but the bottom line is this old original line had a little pinhole, and that was what was causing all the issues for me regarding the leak. This new line is obviously a little thicker. It's braided on the outside, and like I said, you can get it in different colors. Because of the fitting that I chose, this 45-degree edge, they didn't have the male threaded part that spins. This is basically permanently affixed on the cable. So what I had to do is simply screw it in like this by twisting the cable first and then running it. So I was able to get it secure up top on the master cylinder before I connected up the banjo and did all my bleeding work and final connections. When I sent in this cable, like I said, Matt at CoreMoto was fast to email and call. We had a few discussions about options and settings, or fittings I should say. You can get these end fittings in different colors. You can get the braid in different colors. So it's fully functional as far as you getting what you want. A lot of options there, and I'm stoked. Like I said, I'm going to get my brake lines done. So let me get outside and show you what this looks like on the bike. It's beautiful, and more importantly, it's not leaking. I'm so happy about that. Thank you, CoreMoto. If you guys need a new clutch line or a brake line, or if you just want to upgrade and make it look good, CoreMoto is the way to go. They're located in Florida. Here in the United States, they do ship all over, so you should be able to get them any place. Let's get outside and see what it looks like on the bike. So here we are at the bike, and as you can see, that red line just looks so good. I love the texture on it. I'm definitely going to put one on this side pretty shortly here for my brake cylinder. Make these guys go hand in hand on both sides. As far as the line down here, as you can see, she once again looks great. I love that red. And I got the grommet right there alongside the tensioner, so hopefully she'll remain protected, because it does get a little warm down here. We want to keep her away from that header. That's excessively hot, and that's going to be a problem if you're not careful. As far as the banjo fitting, you can see everything is nice and dry. I've had this bike out several times, and this is the first time it's been dry for so long. I'm so happy to see everything working properly. I'm not going to kid you. The only thing that I didn't do properly, or I should say efficiently, was getting this line bled. Moving forward, I'm going to get me one of those reverse bleeder kits. These are the ones that you can hook up to that bleeder port up there at the top of the banjo bolt, and then it's kind of like a giant plunger that you can use to push the .4 oil up the line. So you connect it here with a bunch of .4 fluid in that little plunger, and then you just push, all the fluid up to clean out the line. And then when you connect her up, you have less air in the system. I did it all wrong. I thought I did okay. I've not had this problem before, but this girl did not want to go easy. She just had too much air in this system, and I had to pump and bleed and pump and bleed. I probably pumped this dang thing a good 1,000 times. I don't even know how many times. It just was crazy. But after about an hour or so, I got it done, and I love it. So there you have it. Clutch line from CoreMoto.com. If you need new lines, they can set you up. Matt is the man, and I highly recommend them. Side note, I've got no endorsement. I'm getting no kickback, no nothing from them. I'm just so happy about the line. I wanted to share, let you guys know. So happy motoring 2021, and I'll see you on One Wheel.